Getting that phone call or email saying that they'd like to set up an interview with you is such a great feeling. But it can also be nerve-wracking, especially if it's your first interview. So stay tuned because I'm going to be uncovering 5 tips to help you nail your first interview. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carla, and before we jump into these tips, I want to point out that your first interview may not be the traditional in-person interview, especially in today's pandemic. So a lot of companies, in fact, most companies, have pre-interviews or screening interviews. These are often done by third-party recruiters who like to narrow down a select few to the main hiring manager for the second round. So before you write off any screening interviews, think again. Instead, treat it like your first interview, because if the recruiter senses you're not fit for the role or not putting in your full effort, you may not even make it to the second round, and then you're left wondering why. So after you've gone through the screening and have been asked to move forward with a second interview, there are a few things you need to prepare. Now, the first is really researching the company you are trying to work for and understand why it is you want to work for the company. A lot of times the interviewer will ask why you think you will fit in with the company, and people don't really think about that. People tend to think about why they would be a great fit for the role, but not necessarily for the company, which ties into my second point. You need to figure out, why would you be a great fit for the actual role? The most important question interviewers ask is why you would be a great fit for the role. And this is something you truly need to think about, not just from your point of view, but from the interviewers. Think about how the interviewer would benefit by having you on the team. What special qualities and work tactics can you bring to the table that will enhance the team and job you are applying for? Here's an example. Let's say you apply to a Disney job and the interviewer asks why you'd be a good fit. The typical answer people give is, "Oh, I love Disney," or "I think I'd be a good fit because I know a lot about Disney. I've been there so many times." This is not what the interviewer wants to hear. They want to hear how they will benefit by hiring you. Think about it if you were the interviewer. Would you want to hear that type of response? The answer is most likely no. You need to answer from the interviewer's point of view. What skill sets do you have that the company can benefit from? Now, tip number 3 is practicing your answers. You want to make sure that you are hitting all the key words and answering those questions with confidence. But at the same time, you don't want to sound too rehearsed. The more you practice answering questions, the more you'll feel comfortable, and also you can better anticipate what the interviewer is going to ask. Now, over time, the more you start to interview, you are going to realize that pretty much all the questions are the same. Just ask with a little bit of a twist. Now, going back to what I was saying in regards to tip number 1 and 2, you want to show plenty of enthusiasm. Even when you are in the midst of the screening process, you want to emphasize your enthusiasm for the company and also the job you are applying for. Now, at this point, the employer is likely looking at a number of candidates, and you want to do what you can to make sure that you stand out. So, demonstrating passion, interest, and plenty enthusiasm are great ways to get noticed. And last but not least is tip number 5. Even for the screening process, you should send a thank you letter or email, and of course to the person who interviewed you as well. It doesn't have to be a novel long email, but just a short, heartfelt email thanking them for taking the time to speak with you. Mention something specific about your interview in the letter or email so that they remember you. And again, the recruiter and interviewer are going to be going through a handful of candidates. So if you can do something unique that sticks out to them, they're more likely going to remember you than the other ordinary candidates. If you all have any other topics that you'd like me to cover, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or feel free to DM me at Carla Milanov. I love hearing from all of you and want to be able to help those that are struggling or just need a little more guidance. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next.